Hey man, this your boy Shifty coming back at y'all boys with another video, bro. And today I got something a little bit different for y'all boys today, man. We're gonna do a reaction video a little bit, man. We're gonna compensate, but before we get too far into it, man, just go ahead and consider hitting that like button, bro. We on the go to 500 subscribers. We're almost there. Appreciate everybody that's been tuning in to the videos here lately, bro. The channel's been growing like crazy. Appreciate y'all for enjoying the Battlefield content, the live streams, and everything like that. Just want to go and get this out the way here as well. We do be live over on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick at 7 p.m. Eastern, and pretty much all day over on the weekends, man. So if y'all ever interested in seeing me live, pull up to the screens around that time, and I should be there. But as far as today, man, I got a reaction video for your boy JBowenDaman, man. He made a video regarding to some of Battlefield's changes, and as in the maps and everything, man. So I got a few clips to kind of be able to go over, and we're just gonna digest these clips, and we're just gonna talk about it for a little bit, man. So once again, if y'all boys enjoyed this video, go ahead and consider dropping a like. I have no issues with JBowenDaman, but we are going to talk about some of the things that he kind of discussed within this video, because I'm a part of this community that that he talked about within this, and it's related to small maps here as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and run the first clip here, and then we'll get into it.
I'm a tad bit concerned about some of the future content coming into Battlefield 6. There is a map in this game called Saint Quarters, and I'm sure over half of you guys have never even experienced this map. And it's not for no reason. It's only on the small style of modes: TDM, Domination, King of the Hill, so on and so forth. You could not play it on Rush, Breakthrough, Escalation, Conquest, all of that stuff. It's irrelevant. You can't even consider hopping into the overall experience. It's not big enough. Talking about an actual map that's sized like COD, I see everybody making jokes about Empire State.
Now, he ends up talking a little bit regarding to the map here or there. I just want to put my opinions regarding to this map. He kind of compared this map to like a Call of Duty map, in my opinion. And to be real, bro, I'm gonna be honest. If this was an attempt to like a Call of Duty map, I do not like that map at all, bro. I don't think it flows well at all. I think it's one of the worst maps in this game by far, especially for it to be on all the small modes. But now I do appreciate EA and DICE for actually taking out the time, though, for actually giving the small, like, people that like to play small maps and that doesn't really care too much for the big experiences, bro. We've always been left on the short end of the stick as far as like maps go, because what they would typically do is just take a lot of the bigger maps and just cut them into smaller maps. And that's it wasn't terrible as far as like how the maps looked, but they just didn't flow correctly in as far as like domination or team deathmatch. At least back in previous titles when I was playing, and as I'm currently playing now, Battlefield 6 is probably the best. It's not even a probably. It's definitely the best experience I've ever had playing small versions, as in team deathmatch, domination, King of the Hill. It's been such a good experience that I've even branched out and played other game modes, as in like squad deathmatch this year. And squad deathmatch has been a lot of fun for me. Probably one of my most played modes so far this year. So let me know in the comment section if you guys are playing squad deathmatch or playing any of the small modes, and let me know how you guys feel regarding that. But then he also says some other things, so we'll go ahead and run that clip here now.
Saint Quarters is a true Call of Duty map. I'm not saying that as a joke. I'm not saying that to throw some shade. It's the truth. It is small, very minuscule, and as I stated, you can't play any of the actual Battlefield game modes on it. And in my personal opinion, it's a wasted map. We don't necessarily have 9 maps in the game. We only have 8 because one of the maps can't even be played on the core Battlefield experiences. I'm not trying to be mean here. I'm not trying to throw any shade.
I mean, bro, there's really no shade to necessarily be thrown. Let me go ahead and get that out the way, bro. It's no shade to be thrown, dog. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions regarding to the game and how they see and what changes that they want to see. But let's get into the real here. Like, when it comes down to the small maps, I'm pretty sure I heard you say a while ago or a few weeks ago, when it came down to the big maps, how they needed to take time and how they needed to be able to really make sure that the maps flow correctly for the Battlefield experience. Why would you not want them to do that for their small map community in Battlefield as well? Why should the people that cater to the small maps, people that like smaller game modes and they like to play Battlefield at a smaller scale rather than Conquest or Domination, why should they not get treated with the same respect as in someone that likes big maps? And this is not to throw any shade or anything, but also too, when it comes down to, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, you know, when they used to take those maps, the larger scale maps, bro, they literally did not flow correctly on majority of the game modes as far as team deathmatch, domination, and etc. That's why you had literal servers that was literally set up in private server browser back when you had a traditional server browser. That's why you had a whole community filled with servers of Operation Lockers, and it was Operation Lockers 24/7 because the maps they did not play correctly, and they was like, okay, cool, we get this one map, we'll play this one map, and then that's what we're gonna do. But you don't necessarily see that this year. You see Battlefield, you get to see Battlefield 3 players, Battlefield 4 players, Battlefield 5 players. You get to see all these players that played on those particular titles that didn't like 2042 or didn't like a particular title. You get to see all of these players come into one title within Battlefield 6, and they're all enjoying the variety of the small maps that we got. Once again, I am still on the fence, and I'm still with you. They should have allowed some form of an experience for that map, for even if it would have been rush or whatever. It should have been some form of a mode that was big, that was a large scale, that should have been played on that map. But at the same time, I think the reason why they did that is because they don't want to hear the backlash from the community if it wouldn't have played well. Like, honestly, bro, would you want to play, like, think about it. Would you want to play Breakthrough on that map? Or would you want to play Conquest on that map? Well, nah, just be honest. I don't even play the map, and it's only small maps, bro. And all I play is small maps. I'm not playing that map, bro. It's just bad. No.
Some people do enjoy just hopping into TDM when they play Battlefield. But I'm just going to tell you how it is. Battlefield is not a game made for the small modes. Yes, it's nice to have them in the game, but Battlefield as a whole should never, ever, ever, ever be designed around small modes and small modes only. Game modes like Escalation is what we should be pushing towards. Modes that take the core formula of what this game is about, Breakthrough, Conquest, and shifting it.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but are you telling me they have to completely neglect and just abandon a whole part of the community that plays their game religiously? Like, you do know there's people that are still on Battlefield 4 as we speak playing Operation Lockers. Like, they might not like Battlefield 6 and they still play Battlefield 4. They might have been like, you know what, they boycotted the movement changes. I'm not playing Battlefield 6 anymore. I'm just going to play Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4 or Battlefield 5. And this whole notion on just how Battlefield is supposed to be played needs to stop, bro. Like, nobody plays a role in Battlefield like that, for real, bro. You only play a role when you invite the 3 other people into your damn squad. If you ain't playing in a squad, bro, you ain't playing no role like that, for real. When I'm playing solo and I hop in the engineer, I'm doing a tank challenge, bro. I'm not thinking about how I'm finna take out this tank so my team can capture this flag, bro. I'm trying to get this challenge done. Come on, bro. Like, stop it with all the roles. Like, the roles, that needs to stop being an argument, for real. But let's go and get into this next clip, man, because I can go forever about the roles.
Guess what? I'm sorry to say, as I always say, at the end of the day, Battlefield is made for big team battles, vehicles, all-out warfare, chaos. That's what helps Battlefield shine. Nobody's hopping. I mean, you see, I have to stop myself from saying this because not nobody hops into the game just for small.
You are right, bro. But, dude, there's a whole community that plays this game for the small maps. There's a whole community that plays this game for squad deathmatch, team deathmatch, domination, King of the Hill, the new S&D mode that they're about to add. I'm sure that's going to attract some players. It's not going to attract me because it looks like Face Off, and I'm not liking that map. We'll get into that on another video. But there is a lot of people that enjoy the small experience within Battlefield. And it's always been that way. It hasn't just started with Battlefield 6. There's always been a community for this. So no, I think they should continue on catering to both communities as much as possible. Keep making these maps because the maps are good. Every map ain't great, but they're good. besides the one that we're talking about in this particular video, that one's bad, and they can go ahead and can that one.
But the reality is you can enjoy that stuff, but that's not what Battlefield is, and Battlefield should not prioritize that over the rest of the content. They can go ahead and shrink down maps that we already currently have and put them in domination and all those other modes. But there should never be a moment in time where you take a full, complete map and then put it only in small modes. Excuse me?
And I'm just going to end the video off with this, man. Battlefield is meant to be played however you want to play it. When you spent that $70 or when you spent that $100 on this game, you chose and you have the ability to play the game however you see fit. So if you want to play big maps, play big maps. If you want to play small maps, play small maps, man. I feel like it's going to be a good year. EA seems to be on the ball. They seem to know what we want. They're listening to us. They're making changes every single day. But JBowen, I can't completely agree with you, dog. Like they gotta design some maps separately for the small experience for it to play well. And that's the main reason why I wanted to make this video, man. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please consider giving me a like, dropping a sub. Once again, I'm live every single day over on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube over 7 p.m. Eastern. It's been your boy Shifty, and I'm out, man. Peace.